Hi guys, welcome back. Episode 13 now, I believe. Start of a new season. We've done some business. Some very, very exciting business, I may add. You might be thinking, how can we top last year? We won the Premier League, we won the FA Cup, we won the Europa League. We had a fantastic season. But looking at the business we've done this year, the players we've brought in, we have moved on quite a lot of players. We've brought in a few players, but I'm really, really excited. We've done some brilliant business, and I can't wait to try out this team. I've played a few games. I'll load the game up in a minute. I'll show you the players we've brought in. Start with the players we've moved on as always. Show you how we've got on so far, and as always, I'll have a couple of live comms for you. So thank you for the support on the video in the last season. This is now episode 13, as I said. Really enjoying doing this series so far. So let's get into the episode. We'll begin with the players that are no longer with the club. So I did say it might happen. There is some other deals. Some players have gone out on loan. I also sold Guillermo Varela for 2.5 million. I didn't really think you would care about that really, but I'll show you the full list of transfers once I've gone through each individual transfer. The first of which, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I said he might be leaving. I wasn't. Obviously, he's a legend. In real life, he's phenomenal. But he's 35. He wasn't fantastic for us last season. 14 goals in 27 games. He didn't set the world alight for a player who was on 250 grand a week. So I sold him for 4.9 million. It's almost a £5 million profit. He's gone back to PSG, interestingly, the club we signed him from. He's on 230 grand a week. Doing okay for them. He's got 2 goals in 3 games, but obviously the French league is very, very different to the Premier League. But he's moved on. Let's move on. I'll quickly show you the rest of the outgoings. So the second player to leave the club is Sergio Romero. He has joined Everton in a deal worth £7 million. I was really happy with that. Didn't really play at all for us last season. He played a few cup games and that was about it. He's 30 years old. £7 million for a backup goalkeeper. We have brought somebody in to replace him as our backup keeper, who unfortunately we're now having to use as our first team keeper because David De Gea is out for 2 to 3 months. So luckily he's a very, very good goalkeeper that we brought in. I'll show you him shortly. But yeah, Sergio Romero has left the club. He's now with Everton. Looks like he's their first choice goalkeeper. So let's move on to the next out. So next is Adnan Januzaj. Obviously he was out on loan last season, didn't play for us at all. He was out loan at Sunderland actually, so he's gone back to Sunderland. A deal worth £9.5 million. I would have liked a little bit more for him. But they just weren't willing to pay it. He's nowhere near the player he was on last year's Football Manager. Wasn't really going to play for us, I don't think. So 9.5 million, I don't think it's that bad for a player that we didn't use last year, we weren't going to use this year, so it's money in the pocket really. So I'm happy about that. Hopefully he can do well at Sunderland, and you never know, he may come back to the club at some point depending on how he does at Sunderland. So we'll keep an eye on his progress, and let's move on to the next player. So the next player to leave is Sebastian Corchia. Obviously he was our backup right back. I didn't plan on selling him really. Obviously he played in cup games and that was about it. He played a few games for us, but PSG came in with a £15 million offer, which will rise to 22 million. I couldn't turn that down. I only paid 7 million for him. He only played 14 games, and to almost treble that, I couldn't turn it down. I have replaced him. Obviously, you'll see that shortly. Sebastian Corchia gone to PSG, £22 million. I'm happy with that deal. So the next player to leave is Daley Blind. He has joined Barcelona. He's on 100 grand a week at Barcelona. There was quite a lot of interest in him. I said partway through last season in January that a lot of people seemed interested in Daley Blind, but nobody really matched my valuation for him. Barcelona paid 16 million. That could rise to 20. So I was happy with that. He only played 7 games for us last season. Obviously, we have Jetro Willems, who was our backup left back. Daley Blind just wasn't going to play for us, I don't think. We bought him for 14, we sold him for 16, could rise to 20, so we've got some profit there. I'm happy with that one. Let's move on to the next player. So the next player that has left the club is Dimitri Payet. I was a bit disappointed with this one actually. He came out and said he was unhappy because he wasn't getting enough first team football. I couldn't promise him first team football, so he went on the transfer list. Inter Milan came in for him, sold him for 16.5 million. So we have made a 5 million loss on him, but there wasn't a lot I could do about that. He was on 130 grand a week, so that is 130 grand onto the wage bill. We have replaced him with somebody who I think is better than him already and has a lot more potential than him, and obviously you'll see that shortly. But yeah, Dimitri Payet's left. Let's move on. Okay, so Morgan Schneiderlin has left. This is the second biggest outgoing player this season. He's joined Chelsea. He's on £150,000 a week. That is a big deal for Schneiderlin. They paid 22.5 million for him. He only played 9 times for us last season. He didn't set the world alight. He wasn't going to play this season, so I was happy to let him go for that amount of money. We almost got our money back for him. Obviously, he has left in real life now. He's at Everton. So Schneiderlin's gone. Not too bothered about that. We have replaced him. We've signed a couple of good central midfielders. So let's move on to the final outgoing player. So, Ander Herrera. I didn't really want to sell Herrera. I got my business done relatively early and I thought, right, that's it now, that'll do. And then PSG came in with a mammoth offer for Herrera. If you look in the history tab, it says 52 million. That will rise to 70 million. 70 million for Ander Herrera. He was good for us last year. 9 goals, 4 assists and 3 man of the matches in 32 games. Average rating of 7.42. He was very good for us, but I could not turn down 70 million for a 28-year-old. And to be honest, it excited me a little bit because the player I've replaced him with, I cannot wait to use. He wasn't the player I wanted, but he's a very good second. That's the last outgoing. Let's move on to the players that have come into the club. So this list is slightly shorter than the outgoings. The first player we've brought in is Lucharel Gertrude, probably butchered that. 17-year-old youngster. He's probably not going to feature in the first team very much, but for a 17-year-old, his stats are very good. We brought him in for 1.9 million from Feyenoord. He's got very good potential. I'm really looking forward to trying him when he's developed a little bit. So not much more I can say on him really. He was born in 2000. Wow, that makes me feel old. Never seen anybody born in 2000 on this game yet. So let's move on to the next player that we brought in. So the next one, another youngster, Jake Vokins from Southampton. We brought him in from. He's a left back, 17 years old. Look at them stats: 13 crossing, 16 acceleration, 14 free kick taking, 12 corners. For a 17-year-old fullback, I'm really impressed by that. We brought him in for 3.2 million from Southampton. Probably the same as the last guy. He's not going to feature very much. He was brought in as a youngster to hopefully develop. May see him in the future, but probably won't see him for a little while. That's the last of the youngsters, I believe. So let's move on to some of the first team players we've brought in. So the first player we've brought in was replacing Sergio Romero. We brought in Jack Butland, obviously an English goalkeeper from Stoke City. Stoke got relegated last season. Pretty much all of their players got raided. Shaqiri's gone to City. Obviously Butland has joined us. Pretty much all of their best players have left. We got Butland for a very reasonable 6.75 million, so we actually signed him for less than what Romero is worth. What Romero went for, so I'm very happy with that. Obviously, De Gea's now been injured, so Jack Butland has had to step up to the first team. But he's doing really well. I really like Jack Butland, so I think he's going to be a really good addition to our squad. Let's move on to the next player. So the next player is the replacement that I brought in for Sebastian Porchia. It is Davide Santon, formerly of Newcastle. He's fairly flexible actually. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. He's got very good stats. Very similar to Porchia actually. If anything, slightly better. We paid 9 million for him, which I thought was really good. Again, it's just a backup for Raphael. I can't see him getting in over Raphael because he's been brilliant for us last season and he started again in the same form this year. But yeah, he's coming to replace Sebastian Porchia. Let's move on. So the first of our central midfield additions is Fred. very Brazilian name. He was mainly brought in as a backup. Obviously, we lost Schneiderlin, so he was brought in as a backup to Pogba and Herrera at the time. I brought him in before Herrera left. So his stats are very, very good. He's only 24, so there's room to grow. We brought him in for 16 million. He's now valued at 29.5, so that's a good bit of business. Very, very well-rounded stats. Looking forward to using him. But given the other midfielders we have in the team, he may struggle to get into the first team. So let's move on, and I will show you who they are. So the next player we brought in is Ignacio Camacho. He is fantastic for a defensive midfielder. Look at them mental stats. He is unbelievable. He's started a few games for us. He's been really, really good. As you can see at the bottom, he started 2 Premier League games. He's got an average rating of 7.9. He's been brilliant. We brought him in for 17.75 million, which I think is really, really good. He's now valued at 29 million, so it's another good bit of business. We managed to get him at under. He wanted 140 grand a week. I managed to get him down to 96 grand a week. So I think that's some really, really good business, and I think he's going to be really good for us. But he's not the only centre midfielder we've brought in. Let's move on. So here we move into the slightly bigger transfers. This is the third biggest transfer that I've brought in. He's replaced Dimitri Payet. It's Gabriel Barbosa, Gabigol, brought in from Inter Milan. Obviously, just replacing Dimitri Payet. He's probably going to be a backup first for Mkhitaryan, but Mkhitaryan on this game isn't fantastic. I can see Gabriel Barbosa taking that right wing position, but his stats are very good. 16 finishing, 16 first touch, 16 passing, 17 technique, 16 acceleration, 16 composure, 15 dribbling. He's only 20, so there's still plenty of room to grow. We brought him in for 24 million, so it's not that much more than what we sold Payet for. So we paid maybe 6 or 7 million for Gabriel Barbosa, because obviously Payet went to Inter Milan. I wanted it to be part of the same deal, but for some reason they wanted 25 million plus Payet. But if I did it separately, they wanted a lot less money. It didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, that's it. That's the third most valuable player we've brought in, Gabriel Barbosa. Right then. So when Ander Herrera said he left, he wanted to leave, and we got 70 million for him. The player I wanted to bring in was Dele Alli. Tottenham wanted 140 million. I wasn't paying that. I managed to get them to negotiate down to 110, but I still didn't really want to pay that for him. So the next player I looked at was Renato Sanchez. He's 20 years old. His stats are fantastic for a 20-year-old. Plenty of room to grow. We paid 60 million for him, so 10 million less than we paid for Herrera, but I think Sanchez and Herrera's stats are fairly similar. Sanchez is 7 years younger than Herrera, and he has lots of room to grow, and he turns into an absolute world beater. So I'm really looking forward to playing Sanchez. I've not used him on this game yet. I've used him on Football Manager 16, but he's had a big upgrade this year, so I'm really looking forward to using him. He's been injured, so he's only just managed to play in the last game. He only came on for about 20 minutes, didn't really have much time to do anything. But at 60 million, Renato Sanchez is the second biggest signing we've made. We sold Ibrahimovic, so we had to replace him. Let's see who we've replaced him with. This is the man. This is the man that has replaced Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's 23. Look at them stats. Paulo Dybala from Juventus. 18 dribbling, 16 finishing, 18 first touch, 16 long shots, 17 passing, 18 technique. He's got more goal on that than anyone I've seen on this game, and he's 23. He's absolutely fantastic. If you look at it, we paid 76 million for him. That may rise to 98. So if that does rise to 98, that's the world record transfer. But he's well worth it. In 3 league games, he's got 2 goals. In 6 competitive games, he's got 7 goals. He started really well. So if we look at the rest of the transfers, we can look at what else happened, the ones that say I haven't shown you so far. So all the incomings I showed you, the outgoings, there's the Guillermo Varela, what I mentioned. A few people left on a free, no one on there really to mention. Martin Odegaard's gone on loan to Lyon. They're paying 100% of his wages. We brought in Gabriel Barbosa. We brought in a couple of players that probably would go in ahead of Odegaard, so I didn't see him playing. So he went on loan. He's going to get first team football at Lyon, so I thought that was a good move. We've loaned out James Wilson to Ipswich. And then there's the rest of the loans. Maximiliano Romero's gone back out on loan again. Couldn't get a work permit for him still. Tahith Chong's gone to Ipswich, along with James Wilson. Roshan Williams has gone out. Borthwick Jackson's gone out. So that's pretty much it in terms of the transfers this transfer window. I don't think I'll be making any more. As you can see from the club finances at the moment, I've only got 6 million left. Not very much wage either, so unless somebody comes in with a big offer for one of my players, I think that'll be it for transfers. So let's have a look at the schedule and we can see how we've got on so far this season. So there we go, parade of green so far this year. We haven't lost a single game. We went through pre-season with a 100% record once again, did the same thing last year. We beat Slavia Prague 4-0, Dybala got 2, Payet and Mata. We beat Leverkusen 4-1, Dybala, Andreas Pereira, Callum Gribbin and an own goal. We beat Munich 2-1, Dybala and Jimenez. We beat Cologne 1-0, Dybala. We beat Wickham 3-0, Pogba, Jones and Pereira. We beat N Avant de Guingamp 3-0, Dybala got 2 and Martin Odegaard got 1. We then beat Tottenham in the Community Shield 2-1, Dybala got both of them. We beat Norwich 2-0 at home in the Premier League, Mata and Smalling. We then beat Bayern Munich in the Euro Super Cup 3-2 after extra time. Dybala got 2, Camacho got 1. Thomas Muller got both of their goals. They equalised in the 91st minute. I panicked a little bit because I'd already made some defensive changes, but luckily we managed to come away with the win. Dybala scoring in the 119th minute. So we managed to win the Euro Super Cup, so we've already won 2 trophies this season. We then beat Brighton 3-1, Camacho, Pogba and Mata. And then we beat West Brom 5-0. Depay got 2, Pogba and Dybala got 2. So we've had a really good start to the season. First real test of the Premier League season today. We're going to play Arsenal away from home, followed by a game against Watford. We've drawn Man City in the EFL Cup third round, so that's a little bit of a challenge. Our Champions League group, Barcelona. So that should be interesting. Man United, Barcelona, Olympiacos and Besiktas. Shouldn't have much issues getting through that group. I think Olympiacos and Besiktas shouldn't really challenge us, so it should be us and Barcelona going through, barring any complete collapses. So that's how we're looking currently as the season has started. We're at the top of the league, where we belong. 3 wins from 3, 9 goal difference. Arsenal also 3 wins from 3. We play Arsenal today, so one of us is going to drop points, possibly both of us if we get a draw. But let's get into that game. I'll quickly show you the lineup and then we can get the first game of this episode started. Okay guys, as you can see, current injuries we have Rashford with a minor injury. He's going to be coming back in 3 days, thankfully. Luke Shaw is out, Mkhitaryan's out, De is out, and Martial is out. So because of that, this is how we're lining up today. Jack Butland in goal. Raphael, Smalling, Jimenez and Jetro Willems in the back 4. Camacho and Pogba in midfield. Gabriel Barbosa on the right, Memphis Depay on the left, and Mata in behind Dybala. On the bench we have Bailey, Sanchez, Santon, Fosu Mensah, Fred, Correa and Jones. So let's get into this game against Arsenal and hopefully we can kick today's episode off with a win. So Willems with a throw-in. Ramsey heads it away, Chamberlain on the ball now. Chamberlain looks for Firmino. Firmino signed for Arsenal for £50 million, by the way. Big deal. There's been a lot of big transfers. I'll show you after this game. Ozil's there. It's 1-0 Arsenal already. That is not a good start. It's a good move from Arsenal and we're 1-0 behind. Firmino with the ball over the top for Chamberlain. Willems was massively out of position there. Chamberlain cut it back for Ozil. Ozil finished it in the corner. It's a good finish. 1-0 down. So Willems with a throw-in, gives it to Pogba. Pogba back to Willems, into the box. Cech will come out and claim that. Needs to be doing better with the cross there. So looks like the highlight might not be ending. Cech clears the ball forward. Jimenez wins the header, but Koscielny picks that up and gives it to Sanchez. Sanchez runs inside, takes it past a couple of players. Pogba makes the tackle and Memphis picks that up. Memphis back to Willems. Willems plays it long looking for Dybala. Mertesacker wins it only as far as Pogba. Pogba to run with it, looks for Dybala. Dybala's got through the gap here. It's Paulo Dybala, it's 1-1. You could see his pace there. The ball didn't look like it was going to go anywhere near him, and then he just set off. Got on the end of that and finished it nicely. Look at that, the defender should have been getting to that, surely. They just seemed to turn off. But Dybala got on the end of it, finished it past Petr Cech, 1-1. So Santi Cazorla over a free kick, gets the shot away. I'm not sure if that was saved or if it hit the post there, but they didn't score, that's the most important thing. It's Camacho on the ball now, gives it to Memphis. Memphis gets the shot away, it's saved by Cech. Cech comes and gets this, doesn't get there. Memphis into the box. Dybala has just missed an open goal. He may have been under challenge, he isn't very tall, so I don't think we can quite blame him for that, but should we be 2-1 up? I think we should. So we're going to half-time at 1-1. I'm not too disappointed by that. It's been a very, very close game. I think away at the Emirates, I'd take a draw from this. I just want to stay unbeaten. I'd like to do an unbeaten season this year. We got halfway without losing last season, so we'll see how far we can get in this season. So I'm not going to make any changes. We'll get out into the second half. Hopefully we can snatch a win. If not, I'll take a point. So we're an hour into the game. Matters seems to be struggling, so I'm going to take him off for Angel Correa. I'm not going to make any further changes just yet. I will leave it as it is. Not very much happening in the second half, so we'll just see how it goes. Monreal's down to 6.6, so I'm going to exploit the right flank. Hopefully we can make the most of him struggling. Gabriel back to Raphael. Raphael into the box. Koscielny gets it clear only as far as Smalling. Smalling to Willems. Willems gives it to Dybala. Dybala takes it past his man. Gets the ball across the box. It's Gabriel Barbosa, and it's 2-1 Man United. I was about to say, I think it is Gabriel Barbosa's first goal for Manchester United, and he gives us the lead at the Emirates. Dybala with a lovely little run, takes it past. I'm guessing that it does actually look like Mertesacker, that doesn't it? Gets it past Mertesacker, gets the ball across. Gabriel Barbosa at the back post. Gabby goal, 2-1. So Petr Cech with a goal kick. Looks wide. Raphael wins that. Cazorla wins the second ball. Then Smalling wins it. Then Cazorla again. It's Firmino now. Smalling makes the tackle on as far as Bellerin to Ramsey to Cazorla. Willems can intercept that. Gets the ball over the top for Memphis. Man United can counter here. Memphis Depay cuts inside, gets the shot away, and it's off target. I'm going to make another change. I'm going to bring on Renato Sanchez for Camacho. I'm going to make him a box-to-box midfielder. Give him 20 minutes and see what he can do. So Willems with a throw-in. Gives the ball away, that was poor. It's Ramsey now to Chamberlain. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain finds Mesut Ozil. Ozil through to Firmino. Firmino back to Chamberlain. Chamberlain gets the shot away. So now Sanchez can get that clear. We're going to Sonato then. Sanchez got it clear to Dybala. Dybala now to Gabriel Barbosa. Gabriel finds Correa. Looks for Dybala. Dybala gets the shot away. It was saved by Cech and cleared by Koscielny. To throw into Man United. Willems hasn't been good on the throw-ins, but it's not going to show us it anyway. Let's make another change. I'm going to take off... I can't take off Depay because there's no one I can take him off for. I'm going to take off Pogba for Fosu Mensah. Just to... I like to have a ball winner on there, as I said in the last couple of episodes. So 4 minutes to go. This would be a very, very big win. It's a bit early to say this, but it's a 6 points of this because Arsenal are second. They were also unbeaten. So this will put us 3 points clear at the top of the league. Raphael with a throw-in, 1 minute to go. Alexis Sanchez picks that up. We've been poor from throw-ins today. Firmino on the ball, finds Chamberlain. Don't let them counter us now. It's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's a save from Jack Butland. Firmino on the ball now, finds Otto. Otto into the box. Jimenez wins that. Correa can get this clear. It's Gabriel Barbosa now. To Renato Sanchez. To Dybala. Dybala. To Fosu Mensah. Fosu Mensah is tackled. Bellerin gets it clear to Firmino. Surely there isn't time now. Firmino to Sanchez. Smalling gets in there. Smalling over the top to Gabriel Barbosa. Barbosa finds Correa. Correa to Fosu Mensah. To Dybala. out wide to Willems. Willems into the box. Vallejo will get there and clears it, but the full-time whistle goes. Arsenal 1, Man United 2. Big win early on in the season. We stay unbeaten. We are still 100%. Fantastic victory for the lads. I'm going to tell them I'm very happy. I'll simulate through to the next game, and I will see you when we're selecting the team for the next game, which I want to say it's against Watford, but I can't quite remember. So I will see you then, and we'll see if I'm right. Right, guys, I said I would show you the transfers. It is Watford we're playing in the next game, just for the record. I thought it was. So as you can see, the transfers from June this year. Look at them. You have, if you look at over 20 million, obviously Schneiderlin's gone to Chelsea, Ter Stegen to PSG, Firmino to Arsenal for a deal that could rise to 50 million, Hazard to PSG in a deal that could rise to 65 million. Leave a comment down below if you've seen this as well, but I have seen in this game, each year, the transfer deals seem to just, they're crazy. It's like real life now, where every year somebody's bidding 50, 60 million for people all the time. It seems to be like that in Football Manager now. But if you go to July, look at this. Over 20 million, you've got Danilo to Real Madrid, Lacazette to Porto, Velotti to Liverpool, Luan to Tottenham, Digne to Man City, Mustafi to Bayern, Silva to Atletico, Carrasco and Volland to Bayern Munich, Fabinho to Chelsea, Florenzi to Real Madrid, and these are all over 50 million now. Then you've got Ander Herrera to PSG, could rise to 70 million, Renato Sanchez to Man United, Dybala to Man United, Verratti to Barcelona, 76 million, Griezmann to Man City, 85 million. The money being thrown around in this game at the moment is outrageous. And then you go to August, and already it's the 27th, so there's still time left. You've got more. Mere to Atletico, Barbosa to United, Jovetic to Bayern Leverkusen, Koulibaly to Madrid, Martinez to Atletico, Jesus Vallejo for 37.5 million. I don't even think he can get in the Real Madrid team. He played 32 games for Frankfurt on loan last season, and that means he's worth 37.5 million apparently. The transfers in this game are absolutely outrageous. Leave a comment if you've seen this as well. Every save I've done, there's always like that Griezmann one happens quite often. Verratti sometimes goes to United in other saves. Dybala normally moves on. It's just crazy. Anyway, rant over. Let's get into the game against Watford. Right, guys, so it's just been transfer deadline day. We didn't bring anybody else in, but there's a couple of outgoings to tell you about. Nothing major, really. Leicester City came in with an 18.5 million bid for Lucas Lima last minute. He was not going to feature this year, really. We have enough backup in both central midfield and attacking, in like as the advanced playmaker. So he wasn't really going to play. We paid 10.75 million for him. He played 10 games for us, wasn't overly impressive. They offered 18.5 million, so I didn't see a reason to keep him. So he's moved on to Leicester City. And then there was a couple of loan deals to tell you about. Angel Gomez has just turned professional. He's turned 17, and literally just after he turned 17, Shrewsbury came in with a loan offer for him, paying 100% of his wages. He's down as a key player, so I thought that was a good move. And Callum Gribben and Keith G as well. Keith G is a 17-year-old with a bit of potential. His stats are fairly good, so he's gone to Doncaster. And Callum Gribben, I'm sure you all know who Callum Gribben is. Look at them stats for an 18-year-old. He's got out on loan to Port Vale, also was a key player, paying 100% of his wages. So I thought it was a good move for them three. Get them some first-team football. Obviously, Lucas Lima's gone out, so gives us a little bit of money now to spend in January. We have 24.5 million, 105 grand a week to spend. So if we need to bring anybody in January, we've got the money to do that now. So that's the end of transfer deadline day. That's the end of the transfer window. I'll get to the Watford game. It has been a big gap. If you look at the Arsenal game, 25th of the 8th and then 9th of September. So I'm getting there. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, this is how we're going to line up against Watford. We've had a few players back from injury. Pretty much everyone bar David De Gea. Martial's back. Rashford's back. Luke Shaw's back. Rashford's not got quite the match sharpness yet, so he's not going to be in the squad for today. So I'm starting with Butland in goal, Raphael, Smalling, Jimenez and Shaw make up the back four. Camacho and Pogba in midfield. Barbosa on the right, Memphis on the left, Mata in behind Dybala. And on the bench we have Mkhitaryan, Santon, Fosu-Mensah, Sanchez, Bailey, Correa and Martial. So let's get into this game and hopefully we can get 2 wins from 2 in this episode. So our first highlight of the game, Dybala with a corner into the box. Headed back across the box, Pogba wins the header, it's cleared away. Mata will pick this up. Mata looks for Memphis, that's a good ball. End of the highlight apparently. And then Janmaat with a throw in now. Etienne Capoue to Mario Suarez. Suarez to Pereira. Mata with a tackle. Camacho now can run with it. It's Ignacio Camacho tackled by Capoue. See at the stats, we're dominating this game so far, but you can't tell by the highlights. Camacho now and Gabriel Barbosa can pick that up. Barbosa is tackled by Messina. Camacho tackles them back. It's just a game of tackles so far. Camacho out wide to Barbosa. Barbosa to Pogba. Pogba to Dybala. Dybala out to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw deflected to Memphis Depay. Depay gets the shot away. 1-0 Man United. That's the goal we needed. The stats show how dominant we've been. We needed a goal to show that domination counts for something. Shaw went for the cross, it got deflected. Depay cut inside, used his pace to skip past his man, got the shot away into the corner of the goal. 1-0. Memphis Depay has been brilliant. I keep saying this, he cannot stop scoring. So Dybala with a corner into the box. Areola comes out and collects that very, very well. I don't know if you guys remember, FM 12 or 13, Alfonso Areola was the best wonder kid goalkeeper on the entire game. Seems to have gone a bit quiet since then. Ighalo on the ball now to Pereira, to Arnautovic. It's one of the players that has abandoned Stoke. Memphis manages to keep that in. It's the first shot on goal Watford have had. 36 minutes in, at home as well. Just shows how dominating we are. Okay guys, so we're going at half time. We're absolutely dominating this game. We're 1-0 up. I think Watford have only had 1 shot on goal. I'm not going to make any changes. We'll get them out into the second half and hopefully we can get a few more goals. So I'm going to make an early change as I would like to give Renato Sanchez longer than 20 minutes and Pogba is running down on match fitness. So I'm going to bring him on as a box-to-box midfielder. I'm going to take Barbosa off for Mkhitaryan as well. I think we could do with a couple more goals from this game. So Watford with a corner, Pereira into the box, cleared away by Mata. Dybala's going to pick that up. Peñaranda probably should have got that, but Dybala can run with it. Dybala switches the play to Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan finds Raphael. There's no one in the box for him. Here they come, but there's nobody there, and Areola can claim the ball nice and easily. Dybala was on the other side of the pitch, and no one seemed to follow the run up. That's where a box-to-box midfielder should have been in there. I'm not sure why Sanchez didn't do that. Camacho's going to get sent off here. Ignacio Camacho is shown a red card. That's just throwing a spanner in the works. I'm going to take Mata off for Fosu-Mensah. I'll pull Fosu-Mensah back and he can be the ball winner. So hopefully we can see the rest of this game out. So Suarez on the ball now. Pereira. We need to make sure we see this game out. Renato Sanchez makes the tackle. Mkhitaryan now. What I'm going to do actually, just while we're doing it, I'm going to change Dybala to a support role rather than attack. He's going to be completely isolated up there if I don't. Dybala on the ball now. Then again, he might not need any support. Dybala runs with it into the box. Gets the ball across. It's cleared by the defender. Ighalo can pick that up now. Ighalo back to Craig Cathcart. Formerly Man United player, I believe, Craig Cathcart. Peñaranda to Messina. Jimenez wins the header. Britos will pick that up. It's flicked on by Ighalo and Pereira goes for the lob and Watford get the equaliser. That was a very, very good goal. Butland should have, if he was going to come for it, he should have been committed. But he ran out towards the goal, had a second thought, started running back, and it allowed Pereira to have a very, very tidy finish. Well, to be fair, it wasn't that high above Butland's head. He could have probably saved that. But I suppose with 10 men, a point isn't the worst result in the world, but looking at the stats, I'll be very, very disappointed if we don't win this game. And I'll be even more disappointed if we lose it. Suarez on the ball now to Messina. Messina to Pereira. Pereira to Ighalo. Tackled by Fosu-Mensah. It's made its way through to Peñaranda here. Butland was on his toes and came out and collected that. Will that be the end of the highlight, or Britos wins the header to Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan to Renato Sanchez. To Memphis Depay. Depay, there's a gap there to Dybala. He's found it. Dybala out wide to Raphael, who keeps it in. Raphael gets the ball into the box. It's cleared by Britos. Mkhitaryan back in. Dybala now turns his man and hits it wide. Should have been doing better with that. It was a lovely turn, just didn't have the finish to match. I've made all 3 changes as well, so I'm pretty stuck with what we've got. Pereira with a corner into the box. Butland comes out and collects it. Is that going to... Surely that's not going to be it. It must be something else happening in this highlight. Butland goes long looking for Mkhitaryan. Britos wins the header. Fosu-Mensah wins the ball. It's Dybala now from Jimenez. Capoue makes the tackle and finds Peñaranda. Watford with loads of space here. It's Roberto Pereira to Odion Ighalo, and Watford are taking the lead. 10 minutes to go. I'm going to have to go overload and just make sure we get an equaliser. I do not want to lose. Let's have a look at the tactics and see what I can change. Put Dybala back to attack. I'm pretty limited, to be perfectly honest. Put Sanchez as a roaming playmaker. Make Fosu-Mensah box to box. They're a little bit more attacking. Let's leave it at that for now. I'd love to bring somebody else on and go free at the back or something, but I can't. Just gonna have to hope I get a chance and I take it. You're on overload for 10 minutes and it's not going to give us a highlight. There's 50 seconds left. Is this going to be time? Comes, gets it into the box. Fosu-Mensah heads it away. Memphis can pick this up. 45 seconds. You've got to run with it, Memphis. Memphis takes it past his man, gives it to Renato Sanchez. Back to Memphis Depay. Depay to Fosu-Mensah. Fosu-Mensah is tackled by Suarez. That is poor. This is really, really annoying me. Raphael to Smalling. Come on, let's just pump it up the field. What are you doing? Gives the ball away. Raphael picks it back up. 15 seconds to go. That's going to be it, isn't it? Fosu-Mensah to Mkhitaryan. 10 seconds to go. Not like this. Get there, Dybala. No. Full-time whistle's gone. Watford 2, Man United 1. There goes the hopes of an invincible season this year. I have to blame the red card because we were absolutely in control of this game until that happened. Camacho's going to get a week's wage fined because he cost us that game. I'm really, really annoyed about that. Really sour way to end a good episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.